I think the main thing is this isn't just about a new basketball league format. It's about building a whole decentralized ecosystem powered by blockchain.
Right.
And that ecosystem could fundamentally change how athletes engage with media, how they build their brands, how they earn money.
The direct monetization from highlights, the ownership aspect.
It's potentially a huge shift, giving athletes direct financial upside from their own moments and creating this whole new creator economy around the sport.
That we get back to talking about this community, because I think that's one way, and that I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, it may be the tagline you use there. If you change the game, change the community.
I'm the game changer, the mover, the shaker. With every basket, I'm a community maker. I'm the game changer, the mover, the shaker. With every basket, I'm a community maker.
Great question. So the No Backboard Basketball League, the vision of it is a new recreational basketball platform to provide opportunities for Black and brown individuals to actually own wealth creating assets in the sports space.
So you're looking to get up to speed fast, right? Especially on those big shifts happening where, sports meets tech meets business.
Yeah, without getting bogged down in all the jargon.
Exactly. That's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into the No Backboard Basketball League, the NBBL. We've looked at their materials, how they talk about turning athletes to media companies, even the tech side, the blockchain stuff.
Right. And our goal here is really to pull out the most important, interesting bits of their vision for you.
Yeah, what really matters.
Because it's not just like a different hoop. It could be a whole new economic model for athletes, changing how sports media works.
Okay, let's get into it. They mentioned this content factory model. Sounds big.
It does. But the core concept is pretty clever. They're training gyms. They're designed for two things at once.
Playing basketball, obviously, but also
creating content. Loads of it. Think multiple camera angles courtside, drones flying overhead, even POV shots from the players.
Oh, okay, so cameras everywhere.
And then, crucially, they use AI tools, real-time stuff.
To do what exactly?
To tag everything. Who's in the clip, what kind of play it is, dunk, assist, whatever, and even how remixable it might be.
So it's not just raw footage piling up.
No, it's organized, tagged by athlete, by play type. The idea is athletes walk out of a session not just having trained, but with a portfolio.
A portfolio of video clips they can actually use.
Clips they can monetize. That's the key difference.
Right, because normally a viral clip, who benefits most?
Usually the platform it's on, right? The athlete might get exposure, maybe some followers, but the direct cash often goes elsewhere.
But NBBL flips that.
That's the proposal. The highlight becomes the athlete's digital asset, something they own, distribute, and earn from.
Okay, ownership. That's a big word here. They give an example, don't they? A conservative example.
They do, and it makes it really concrete. Imagine a 10-second dunk clip. It gets, say, 150,000 views on Instagram Reels.
Okay.
They estimate that could bring in maybe $1,500 gross revenue. But then look at how they propose splitting it.
This is the tokenized royalty structure.
Exactly. The athlete gets the biggest chunk, 60%. So $900 in that example.
Nice.
But then if someone remixed that clip and helped it blow up, the remixer gets 30%, which is $450.
So they're incentivizing remixes.
Totally. And even a promoter, someone who drove views, gets 10%, $150. The NBBL itself keeps 40%, so $600.
Interesting. So NBBL takes a cut, but everyone who adds value gets a piece.
It's designed to build an ecosystem, not just hope things go viral. They're rewarding the actions that create value. Even with NBBL's cut, the athlete is still getting a significant return.
And that's just one clip, if an athlete has a good season.
Exactly. Multiple clips, multiple potential income streams. It's like building a small media business on the side.
Okay, so how does this all technically work? They talk about the Ballers token. What is that?
Right, the Ballers token, that's central to their Web3 approach. It's a native utility token, and importantly, it's soul-bound.
Soul-bound,
meaning it's tied to that specific athlete's identity, non-transferable. Think of it like a permanent digital key or ID card just for them within the NBBL system.
Okay, a permanent digital ID, what does it do?
Several key things. First, it assigns the ownership metadata to the content. So that dunk clip, the token links it permanently to the player who did it.
Gotcha. Proof of ownership.
Second, it enables those automatic royalty splits we talked about. uses smart contracts, self-executing code to send the money out automatically and transparently.
Makes sense. No chasing payments.
Third, it tracks engagement, which could unlock other payouts. And finally, it can give athletes access to exclusive perks, special training, events, that sort of thing.
So it's moving beyond just counting views like Web 2 to actually paying out based on value and ownership in Web 3.
That's the core shift they're aiming for.
And this isn't just Erie, right? They have a physical place.
Correct. The NBBL Showcase Gym, that's their proof of concept, their MVP, minimum viable product.
And I call it on-chain.
Yeah, meaning the rights, the potential earnings, everything generated there is managed and recorded on the blockchain, transparent, immutable.
So this gym is where it all comes together. The no backboard game, the cameras, the blockchain, the NIL payments.
Everything. It's the test bed. It's where, as they say, the athlete entrepreneur is minted. It's about playing, yes, but also building that digital portfolio.
Okay, so why do they think now is the right time for this whole model?
Well, look at the bigger picture. The creator economy is absolutely exploding. Projections are heading towards $500 billion by 2030.
Wow.
Plus, audiences want short-form, interactive content. And athletes themselves, more and more building their own brand, their own media channels.
And the NIL era in college sports must be a huge factor here. Name, image, likeness.
Absolutely huge. It's already got college athletes thinking like entrepreneurs, managing their own brand value.
So the NBBL model kind of provides the rails for that, the infrastructure.
Exactly. It gives them tools to take even more control, own their media, build those income streams directly. And this idea of decentralization of athlete ownership, it feels like where things could be headed in sports media.
Okay, we've got the big vision. Let's touch on the tech backbone for a second. What are the core pieces of this NBBL blockchain project?
They break it down into a few pillars. Starts with identity and wallet access, getting people onboarded securely.
Makes sense.
Then token creation and gating managing who gets access to what via tokens. NFT minting and licensing, that's key for the content rights and those remix royalties.
Right, the ownership part.
Content distribution and storage, probably looking at decentralized ways to keep content safe and accessible. Royalties and payments, got to make that automated and clear.
Critical.
Engagement and community tools to build interaction. And finally, governance and future scaling, planning how the whole thing grows and makes decisions.
Sounds comprehensive. Now, to really see how it works, they gave user stories. Let's start with Maya's moment, the baller token in action.
Okay, Maya. She's a 17-year-old player and an NBBL pilot. After her first scrimmage, she goes to a media station, scans a QR code, confirms her identity.
And boom.
And boom, her unique soul-bound baller token NFT is created, linked right to her secure digital wallet. It's like her digital passport for the whole NBBL world.
Okay, so she's officially in the system, tied to that token. What happens on the court?
She hits this amazing 30-foot shot. The cameras capture it, multiple angles, and the AI system immediately tags her baller token ID into the video's metadata.
So the link is made instantly on the blockchain.
That's the idea, permanently associating that play with her digital identity.
So how does she benefit from that, financially or otherwise?
Later, some creator finds that clip, uses it in a cool remix video that gets shared a lot.
Okay.
Because Maya's token ID is embedded in that original footage data, the smart contract tied to the remix automatically sends her money.
Automatically.
Yeah. In this example, maybe 15% of the revenue from selling the remix NFT, plus a tiny trickle of their John B token every time someone watches it on their platform.
Wow, so she earns passively from someone else's creation using her highlight. That's different.
Very different. And the story adds another layer. A college coach finds her baller token online.
What can the coach see?
Her game history, stats, all the clips and remixes she's in, and even her total earnings from these media royalties.
So it's like a dynamic, verified, monetized resume.
Pretty much. It shows her skills and her market value in a way traditional scouting doesn't.
That's powerful for an athlete trying to get noticed. Okay, let's slip to the creator side. Zay, the creator and the content hub, he's not a player.
No, Zay's a 19-year-old fan, a creator. He bought a specific NFT, a mid-tier ball track UHoopers NFT.
And that NFT gives him access.
Exactly. It's his key to unlock the Content Hub's editing tools and the whole searchable archive of NBBL game footage. He can filter by player, like Maya, play type, date, whatever he needs.
So he finds the clips he wants. Then what?
He makes a top 5 swishes video using Maya's shot and clips from other players when he mints his video as a remix NFT.
Creating his own unique digital asset.
Right. The system automatically figures out the royalty splits. So maybe Maya gets 15%, another player 10%, Zay gets 45% for making the remix, and the UHoopers treasury gets 30%.
All handled by the smart contract embedded in his remix NFT.
Correct. No complex accounting needed later. It's baked in from the start.
How does he get people to see it?
He can embed the NBBL Web3 video player on his own site, share the link anywhere. And here's another cool part. The player tracks views.
Yeah.
Fans watching earn a little bit of the John D. Up token. Zay earns creator bonuses if it does well. And even the players in the clips get tiny micropayments.
So everyone's incentivized. Fans to watch, creators to make good stuff, players for being featured.
It creates this interconnected loop. And Zay even gets notifications if new footage pops up featuring players he's used before, helping him make more content.
A continuous cycle. Okay, next up. Coach Lex and the UHoopers Society NFT. What's her story?
Coach Lex, she's a grassroots trainer. She buys a super rare UHoopers Society NFT, one with specific arena and house traits.
Traits,
Yeah.
like in gaming NFTs.
Kind of, yeah. They unlock different utilities. Straight away, she gets access to a special dashboard and an invite to connect directly with the NBBL team.
So, privileged access. What do those traits let her do?
The arena trait lets her propose actual NBBL-related ventures. Like, she uses it to pitch setting up her own all-girls no-backboard league in Chicago.
And she gets approved.
Yeah. The NFT basically gives her the right to build using their framework. She even gets a branding kit. She goes from just coach to league operator within their ecosystem.
Wow. And the house trait.
That gives her access to exclusive community stuff, resources, and importantly, governance power.
Governance. How?
Her specific NFT tier gives her weighted voting power in community decisions, like how to spend John Bay community grant funds. She gets a real say.
Okay, so these aren't just pictures. They have real utility and influence.
Exactly. Plus, she gets VIP access to events, networks with athletes, creates content for her league, and her league's footage gets uploaded under her license. It connects online and real-world activity.
Fascinating. All right, let's talk about the fan experience with Tyrone and the John B token. How does a regular fan earn and use this?
Tyrone's just a basketball fan. He starts earning John Bay simply by watching videos on the Content Hub. Some videos have a watch-to-earn activated badge.
So just watching earns him tokens.
Yep. Passive earning just for engaging with content he likes anyway.
What else can he do? The story mentions tipping.
Yeah, he sees a player, Dre Elastic Wilson, make a great play, and he can directly tip him using his earned John B tokens.
Ah, direct fan-to-athlete payment. That's cool.
It builds that connection. And Tyrone also earns more John B by creating his own remix that gets views. So he goes from consumer to creator.
Rewarding positive participation again.
Yeah.
And can he spend these tokens?
Yes. He stakes some John Bay, locks them up temporarily to get VIP access to an actual NBBL event and entry into a raffle.
So the tokens become his key to unlock premium experiences.
Exactly. It incentivizes holding and using the token within the community.
Okay, last story. Julian and the physical UHoop. This is the actual hoop itself, right? How does it connect to the digital side?
Right. The UHoop isn't just metal and net. It has a QR code and an NFC chip built in. When Julian gets his, he scans the code with the NBBL app.
And that does.
It links the physical hoop to his digital wallet and mints a UHoop ownership NFT. So the physical object now has a unique, verifiable digital identity on the blockchain.
The hoop itself is on-chain, kind of.
In a way, yes. Its identity is.
So how does that help Julian playing in his backyard?
When he and his friends film their games using that hoop and upload the clips via the app, the system verifies it's coming from his registered UHoop using that embedded data.
So the footage gets marked as...
UHoop verified. It gives it a stamp of authenticity within the ecosystem.
And does that verification lead to anything? Can they earn from backyard hoops?
Yes. Because their footage is verified, if a clip from their game gets used in a popular remix NFT,
Do they get a cut?
they get a share of the NFT sale revenue automatically, plus some John B tokens. Their casual backyard game just generated real digital value.
That really bridges the physical play with the digital economy.
It does. And because his hoop is registered, Julian can even apply to host an official UHoop rec league in his area, getting branding help and a revenue share.
So the hoop is like an entry
Yeah.
point, an on-ramp.
Exactly. It turns any court with that hoop into a potential node in the network, any game into potential content, and any owner into a potential media creator or local operator.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, from the core idea to the tech to the user experience. What's the big takeaway here, the bottom line?
I think the main thing is this isn't just about a new basketball league format. It's about building a whole decentralized ecosystem powered by blockchain.
Right.
And that ecosystem could fundamentally change how athletes engage with media, how they build their brands, how they earn money.
The direct monetization from highlights, the ownership aspect.
It's potentially a huge shift, giving athletes direct financial upside from their own moments and creating this whole new creator economy around the sport. It's really quite significant if it takes off.
It definitely makes you think about the wider potential, doesn't it? Could this model work in other sports? Or even, other creative fields entirely?
That's the really provocative question, isn't it? What happens when ownership and monetization are baked right into the infrastructure like this?
Yeah, what are the ripple effects when creation, participation, and earning are so tightly linked? Something for our listeners to definitely chew on.
It's certainly an interesting space to watch at that intersection of sports, tech, and entrepreneurship. Maybe digging into the UHoopers Society might give some folks a closer look.
A fascinating potential future unfolding.
We're inviting people to jump on the ship.
Digital trades, Web3 crusades, transparency in play. Community gets a say. NFTs, digital cards, revolution so large. Yeah, carry out. Market trends we bend to our community extend. Future-proof the game, text to flame, sparking growth. No 2 days the same. From virtual court to real-world sports, we're setting up the plays in innovative sorts.
We hooping, no stopping, our Hoopers Society popping. No Backboard League, it's more than a game, it's a movement, a groove, economic change. From courts to boardrooms, we making waves. Our Hoopers Society, yeah, we paved the way.